Yo, what is up, Crocs and clown members, book fans, and other Silver Song Pong's video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and today is episode 38 of X and Y English Dub, and it is what I thought was supposed to be a Trevenant episode, but actually it was just half Trevenant episode. Uh, but regardless, it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. Um, it was kind of like there's certain stuff in there that were kind of strange. Not gonna lie. So, episode starts off very simple, very nice and simple. You have Ash training with Froakie. He's like pounding a waterfall for some reason. I don't know why. And then all of a sudden, this giant tree trunk, falls down the waterfall, and like Pikachu's on a rock, and then so it's like the for somehow the trajectory of the branch falling was gonna land directly on top of Pikachu, and then Pikachu, instead of being like, "Hey, I got Iron Tail, Thunderbolt, Electro Ball, I could smash this thing easily," he was just freaking out. I mean, granted, if you had a tree trunk falling directly onto you, I think you'd just be frozen with fear. You're like, "Oh snap, what the heck am I gonna do?" So I can give Pikachu, a little bit of slack for that. But then Froakie comes in, and I'm like, okay, so what the heck is Froakie gonna punch it or water pulse it or what? Like it's not a lot of options he has. Um, but no, he freaking I'm pretty sure it was his middle finger, or not finger. Well, would it be fingers? I don't think they're considered fingers. Um, let's just call it his stub, his third stub, the one in the middle, not the third, the middle stub, and like he like cuts it, and I mean that's it. He used cut, and I'm like, okay, weird, strange way to use it to learn HM. I'm just saying, like I really, I mean, I had to look it up. I'm being serious. I had to look it up because I was like, this has to be the first time we've had a random HM move being learned. Like, because I know we've seen HM moves used beforehand, but it's like I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where like it's not like random. Um, like it was Torterra with or not Torterra Grotto with the rock climb. That was at the end of the episodes. That one was, I mean, I guess like I don't know. And then there was Rock and Rolla with Rock Smash, but the Rock Smash isn't considered an HM in Gen 5, so that one's not gonna count. So it's like really weird. I don't know. He just randomly learns cut, and so and then apparently because he saves Pikachu uh, like that, he remembers that in the beginning of the series, Froakie essentially did the same thing. He saved Pikachu when Ash was battling Team Rocket, and so we kind of get a feel of the whole friendship thing between Froakie and Pikachu. I really like that. I like this the fact that they're trying to push this because this is the thing. I mean, from the beginning of the series, we've already known that Froakie has a lot of I guess I don't even know. I think maybe like brotherly love or something. I don't know, but it's towards Pikachu. Like both of them are a clique, right? So they're good friends. So I hope they like push this a little more. And because of this whole thing, Clement comes up with the idea of having a double battle. Now, of course, I was expecting it to be Froakie and Pikachu because that was the whole purpose of the whole reasoning behind doing the double battle, but it ended up being Froakie and Halucha. Now, here's it was the funny part where Clement's like, okay, so my first Pokemon's gonna be, and then Chespin comes out, and then he's like, oh well, I guess Chespin's first, and then he brings out Bunnelby, and I'm like, who the heck else were you gonna send out? You only have two Pokemon on your person right now. Your sister has the third one, and then your other three are in the freaking gym. I was like, you only have two options, Clement. If you weren't sending out Chespin first, you were gonna send out Bunnelby. But the point is, you're still gonna use Chespin. So I thought that was a little funny. Um, I also like the little rival, like this. I guess this. counter type of personalities between Froakie and Hawlucha, because as we all know, Hawlucha is a Pokemon that's very proud, and so like he grew up, or he lived in the forest where it was essentially just fighting types, and they measure each other, and that's when they fight. So that's how Hawlucha fights normally. He takes in the opponent, and then like measures their strength, and then he starts attacking. There's no dodging involved. So Froakie, on the other hand, is a speedy fighter. He always likes to maneuver around his opponents and then strike when there's the opportunity. So these two personalities clashed in this double battle, because then Froakie is like, he's maneuvering around, right? He's using when he's dodging attacks and he's attacking. There's always kind of like a motion with it. Whereas Hawlucha was just sitting there taking Bunnelby's double slaps to the face, and then he countered, and so it was like, or not really countered, but well, yeah, he kind of countered it. Froakie wasn't doing that. He was confused at why Hawlucha was doing it, because that's not how he fights. And then it ends up getting worse because Froakie ends up defeating Bunnelby, protecting Hawlucha, which makes Hawlucha mad because that was his opponent. Hawlucha, he's that type of Pokemon where it's a one-on-one fight, and they measure each other, and then they start fighting head on. No outmaneuvering nonsense. So he got pissed, and he freaking high jump kicked Froakie in the face. I was like, whoa! Like, I laughed, but I was like, damn, let's just calm down, bro. It was ridiculous. He just, like, Froakie's like over there like talking to him, and I was just like complaining. And he just high jump kicks him in the face, like bam. And I'm like, whoa! It was crazy. And then they're like, oh well, I guess the battle is over because these two aren't gonna get along. And so Ash is like they're like literally going to fight each other, and then Ash like steps in the way. He's like, stop it! And then it's like they do that whole thing where it looks like they're gonna run into Ash, so they both turn in a way to where they each go their separate ways, avoiding Ash. And then of course this transitions into Ash being like, time for some team exercise training, and then they do. He comes up with a freaking improvised move on the fly. Like it's like literally. This is the thing. I don't know how useful this is gonna be because it's not like this double battle is like crazy in the anime. So it's not like we're gonna see this ever again. But he basically comes up with like the super flying cut attack, which is essentially Hawlucha. And by the way, when they were showing Ash explaining it, it literally looked like a 5-year-old's drawing. It was, oh my god. I mean, of course, I honestly am not one to criticize because I can't draw for shit. But either way, you can clearly tell it was funny. I laughed quite a bit during this episode. But essentially, the way it works is that Hawlucha jumps up and glides. Froakie jumps on top of him. Then, when they're getting near the opponent, Froakie jumps off, uses cut on the opponent, and then Hawlucha finishes it off with a flying press. So they're practicing that, and then they do another funny moment. Like I said, I laughed a lot during this episode. They do another funny moment where everybody's like setting up, for lunch, and Ash is over training, and then freaking Serena comes in. I got the Pokepuffs, and like the basket is empty, and then you have like it was like what, Bunnelby, Chespin, Fennekin, and I believe who was the last one? The Dene. And then like the thing is empty, and she's like, all right, who ate it? And you just see everybody saying no except for Chespin, who's like looking the other way, and I'm like, Chespin, I see you, bro. And then Serena's like, and then Kelvin's like, come on, somebody tell the truth. And Serena's like, it's okay, I know what's gonna happen because there's a Pokepuff in there that's particularly spicy because that's how Finnegan likes it. So at any moment in time, somebody's gonna get burned up. And you just see Chespin burning, like he's like turning completely red. He's like, spring is spicy as hell. And Serena's like, aha, I knew it was you, Chespin. I'm like, no shit. The dude is just like, what's up, bro? I did it. Like, I'm just gonna pretend I don't notice whatever you're saying. I'm just gonna look the other way. I freaking laugh, man. This Chespin is so hilarious. I freaking love that thing. And then Ash gets randomly kidnapped right after that. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, it was the craziest thing because he's like trying to get them to participate. All of a sudden, you just see vines come out of nowhere and grab him. He's like, ah! Like, the forest is eating Ash. It was the oh my gosh, this episode was so funny. And then so he's like getting dragged away, right? And Pikachu and Halucha and Froakie are like running behind. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, Ash! So they start running too. And all of a sudden the freaking forest starts moving. And I'm like, is this forest cursed? Like, it looks like forest cursed. Like, I was honestly thinking if that's what it was. Because I know it was Trevenant because he saw Trevenant. And so, like, he's, like, dragging Ash away. And, like, all the vines and tree branches. Freaking Halucha and Froakie dodge some vines, but then Pikachu gets caught. And I'm like, whoa. And they just book it. Like, and Pikachu's, like, over there hanging around, or not being hanged up, right? And then Halucha and Froakie, like, fuck it, we gotta go save Ash. And then the rest of the gang shows up. They're like, what the heck? And then the forest is continuously moving. And then Trevenant puts Ash to sleep, or I don't know. It looked like Confuse Ray at first, but then Ash goes to sleep, so I thought it was Spore. But then later on, Ash says he's got Confuse Ray, so I honestly don't know what it was because Confuse Ray doesn't put you to sleep; it just gets you confused. So, but then so the gang saves Pikachu. Pikachu sends gets Ash's scent, so he starts following. Halucha and Froakie actually get caught, and then when they try to get loose, they actually do that whole swinging back and forth to try to break the vines, and they actually crash into each other. They're like, "What the frick are you doing, man?" And then we both fall down. Halucha falls first because he's obviously heavier. And Froakie lands on top of him. He's like, "Get off, man! What are you doing?" And then they start arguing again, and Halucha notices Ash's hat, and he's like, "Look, the hat!" And so they get it, and they actually make up. Halucha wears the hat, and they go after Ash. Ash wakes up again, questions Trevenant, and then Froakie and Halucha show up, ready to battle Trevenant. And Halucha does the high jump kick, and I'm like, no! And he like phases through Trevenant, and then he hits himself, right? Because that's what happened. He crashed. And and then Ash is like, Trevenant's a ghost type. It's not fighting type moves won't work. And I'm like, how the heck does Ash know Trevenant's a ghost type? Like, the Pokedex didn't say anything about typing, so how the heck does he know? He played X and Y. That's how. I knew it. I knew he played the game. Anyways. So then it becomes like a battle type of thing between they try to do the dual attack again, but it doesn't work for some reason. Trevenant said like he apologizes type of thing because Ash is questioning him why he's doing this, and then he leads them off to somewhere where a Bonsly and a Sudowoodo are trapped in a freaking net, which is electrical, and Ash is the dumbass and decided to try to break them out of there. And then everybody else shows up, and then Ash is like, Iron Tail, and he's like, got it, and he like breaks the thing. And then the Sudowoodo and Bonsly fall, and Trevenant catches. By the way, Trevenant is huge. That thing is freaking huge. Like, I would not want to mess with that thing. And so they go. Team Rocket shows up, with their stupid nonsense. They actually capture Pikachu, and then the flying cut press, whatever the heck it's called, actually works. But they do this combo thing where Halucha flying presses Pumpkaboo, phases through, and then Froakie uses the Rasengan water pulse again. This is gonna be called forever. The Rasen water pulse, just bam, and then they use the flying super cut versus the Inkay. And then Trevenant, oh my gosh, he just freaking used one hammer on the, and it actually looked like a freaking hammer. He like smashed that thing. And then everybody saved, Thunderbolts all the way, blah blah blah. And then episode ends. And I was like, awesome. And then that's it. That's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Links is always in the description box below. Let me know what you thought about the episode down in the comment section below. I believe next week's episode is the beginning of the summer camp arc. Super excited for that. But anyways, guys, this has been SoresanCrockxen, and I'll see you guys in future videos.